Welcome to the best hour of their day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez.
And me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
as both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better boxes. Welcome to
the best hour of your day.
Andrew Charlesworth, CrossFit regional rep.
Sure.
Owner of CrossFit 2A married to the wonderful Jen Charlesworth, father of two. All around good dude. We are psyched to finally have you.
You forgot decent basketball.
Who's better?
We never went over
played.
that.
We've never played.
But you weren't D1.
No one Fern was.
Yeah, but does that automatically make you think he's better?
In terms of high school, yes. Like high school was all about, are you going D1, D2?
And I know some guys who played JUCO who were out of this world.
Yeah.
Good. A lot of it has to do with academics at that point.
You can still dunk.
I can, but it hurts the patella.
Really?
Oh, dude.
The landing.
Like you know what's funny about CrossFit is people always ask me, since I competed back in the day, they're like, are you just broken from that CrossFit competing? I'm like, no, basketball ruined my hips and knees.
It'll tear you up. I think that's probably why I ruptured my Achilles.
And on that note, I mean, you're still a very, very fit human being. You get after it every morning, either at your affiliate or in the basement at 5 o'clock.
I do, but I forget to post about it because I'm just being present. It's challenging.
So you're saying Jocko, who was on earlier, is not present because he has to take a picture of his watch.
If you wake up at 4, what is it, 4, what's he wake up, 4:23?
4:30,
yeah. You can post about that all day.
Your training is still happening, though, daily with two kids, with how busy you are?
Yeah, otherwise it'd be excuses.
Yeah, I love it, but talk to me about that, because I think as affiliate owners, as busy people out there, it's very easy to let your life get away from you. And I think you and I talk, I won't say daily, but a few times a week, and I think you're certainly always someone who's prioritizing their health and fitness.
Every self-help book you read starts with the put your mask on first. How many times have you heard that or said that?
We've heard it on every episode.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy to say it again then, but what would I not do if I didn't work out? I wouldn't shower. I wouldn't brush my teeth. It just goes in with that. And if you're in the gym, why would you not train and be as fit as
that
you possibly
cascaded
can?
quickly, by the way. You just went from no working out
If I don't work out, my teeth fall out.
to hygiene is now out the window.
It just makes the most sense.
But you know, I get what you're saying. We grow up like we all have two kids, and they're brushing their teeth.
Their
right?
teeth.
How
Their
old
teeth.
are your kids? I forgot.
You got 3 and 1.
He'll be 3 tomorrow, and then the next one is 1 and some change.
Okay.
But
Nuts.
point is, it's like, hey, you got to brush your teeth. You hate this. I'm making you do it.
Yep.
And exercise is just the same philosophy, not only for your body but for your mind.
Yeah, but also I go to my affiliate every day as a participant, and I just want to see that experience. I try to tell owners, like, not that I'm in the spot where you necessarily want to be, but I only coach twice a week, and I go to the 6 a.m. every day just to be a part of that community.
You go every day at 6 a.m.?
Monday through Wednesday, I take Thursday off and Friday, yeah.
And you're in class.
Yes.
You don't coach that class. You're
I don't coach the class.
So I think what's unique about you, Andrew, we've talked about it a lot. You have a different mindset and mentality for many things in the affiliate space. But part of that is the actual training, the working out that goes on. You and Jen specifically does a lot of the programming for 2A Bore.
Yep.
And a lot of that has slightly, I'd call it longer workouts than your average CrossFit affiliate.
Yeah.
What have you found by doing that, and what is your reason for doing it?
Yeah, I'm going to phrase it down. We typically have workouts that I would say go anywhere from 20 to 35 minutes, but I'm working the different energy systems inside of it. I don't program anything. Jen does it all. But what I've found is that it is harder to convince the consumer that 90 seconds of work and grace is going to get you fit. Is it? Yes, we all know that. We got to go over how we all met too on seminar staff. That'll be fun.
Yeah, okay.
Later. But nonetheless,
That's your show. Whatever you want to do.
Whatever. I can kind of give them a little bit of what they want, and then a little bit of what they need.
So how would you factor in something like grace? Like you said, 90 seconds, 3 minutes tops. Yes, when we look at work capacity, all that makes sense. How do you create a longer workout but still had that pathway. Intervals, what else is going
Yeah,
on?
Jen does a lot of 3 on, 1 off, 5 sets. She does a lot of 5 on, 2 off. We do a lot of every 3 minutes for 10 sets, and then
you do those on Fridays.
Every Friday. I mean, let's not say it's routine, but typically every Friday.
I was gonna say that's not very insane.
Yeah,
we should talk about it.
No, it rotates through a little bit, but yeah, they get traditionally used to a longer one on Friday, call it Endurance Friday, but for the most part, we still have to change it every 4 to 6 weeks to get variance. Otherwise, it's going to become routine.
So, I mean, essentially what you're describing is that you have either you're doing some sort of EMOM style, broadly speaking,
right,
or you can do them, how would you do Grace? You'd be like, well, you do Grace, take a 5-minute break.
Do it again.
Or do it again. Or do Elizabeth, or something you might typically see in the games, but like, how do I take 3 of those, get adequate rest so I can still hit them with the relative intensity, not create anything that would be essentially unsafe? It's just like, you do a little bit more inside of that time. I think you bring up something interesting, that it is hard to convince new people. They're like, oh, don't find, all you need is Fran. It's just like, that's a bridge too far. Yeah. For somebody who's coming from
I've been doing an hour of cardio every day, and you're telling me I
for
need
my whole
3
life,
minutes?
and you're telling me that all of this is a lie now.
Yeah, and then I hate being the person that like tries to go too hard into, well, here's the EPOC, the post-exercise oxygen consumption. I mean, you can do that to a new member or a prospect, but I mean, at the end of the day,
you should not.
You should not. Unless you read the person right away and they're coming in to show you.
You have a degree in exercise science.
Yeah.
Some people want that. Other people just show me the results.
Yeah, absolutely. So I stay away from the programming. She does it all. I am more the finance guy, which your show, but I would imagine whoever's listening to this in their car right now is like, I know that guy and he's obsessed with money. The concept of money. So if we
were just talking about
crypto over there.
Yeah, we're talking.
No, we don't need to go into crypto, as Austin will just fire me. But at the end of the day,
no, you're big into financial freedom, as you should be as an affiliate owner. The path to that is being an entrepreneur.
Sure.
And
not always, but it is a path.
Sure. But both of you are correct in different sizes.
And literally, if you're going into entrepreneurship, affiliate ownership, I think we've talked about it with many of our guests this week, but making money is not only okay, it's necessary.
It's beyond necessary. I mean, what would keep you motivated is a scoreboard. Do you guys ever watch Entourage?
Of course, yeah.
I mean, my favorite, Ari Gold has some amazing quotes in there.
Nice Jewish guy.
Yep, absolutely. Life is all about scoreboards.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and whether you looked at, take it what you want. You can't just, if you don't measure it, it won't get better, just like we talked about in level 1. So why would the number one lifeblood of your business not be measured? It's still the lifeblood, whether you like it or not. The rent is going to come. The bills are going to come. You have a lifestyle you have to live. So I don't get why. Same thing with nutrition, right? Like I don't have a muscle up. Could we say, what did you eat this morning? Yeah, in the pyramid you could.
Well, you're right. This is a huge concept, or part of the book, 4 Disciplines of Execution. They talk extensively about scoreboards. But people do measure money. They just measure it the wrong way. They're like, I either have it or I don't. At which point, like, correct. That is one way to measure it and read it. It's not an effective use of it.
Yep.
That'd be no different. Say I could look at it. I worked out, or I didn't. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot in the middle there. Like, what did you do when you worked out? What was the frequency when you worked out?
Yeah.
Like all of those things. That is where people lack the skills or the tools to appropriately manage money, myself included, and struggled with that. And that was my degree. It's what I did.
Were you degree finance?
Oh, it was in economics,
nice.
Which is a ton of finance in that whole thing. But still struggled with that until I found a tool, which we both use, and we teach our clients to use it, like software, you need a budget.
Course coming out.
That fundamentally changed my life because it allowed me to measure correctly.
Oh, man. I don't think, obviously I refer a lot of guys to you, and I publicly say, hey, I am friends with them. We have history, so full disclosure. But I don't think enough people know. You don't have to give away the secret sauce, but the stuff I've talked to Marcus with, you guys with, but mainly Marcus, since he's the brains behind everything.
He's the CEO.
Yeah, I mean, at the end, it just blows my mind what you guys are able to actually make them think about without completely trashing coaching. Yes, you could completely look at a CrossFit gym from a number standpoint only. And if that's what we're going to go on, what's good or bad, I think you're going to miss stuff. But this is I want to be very careful with this. This might be a good clickbait.
Do it.
Get ready, Cody. Get ready.
If I am a master HVAC, that is my craft. That is my skill. I can be the best HVAC guy out there.
Choco Phil's getting this.
That has no concept of how my business is going to be run. I have passion about being an HVAC. I've done the work. I have experience. I will not like electrocute myself or burn your house down. I'm a great HVAC guy. My business could go bankrupt within 6 weeks. If I have no concept, I don't put the help out there. And I don't think enough people think about that with coaching.
That's our 50-50 model.
Exactly.
Meaning like that is only 50% of the equation. And that's why when we decided to do this, we talked about it at length. We were like, we will address all of it because we already know there are other companies out here that do this that only address the business or even more specifically, the sales portion.
Yeah.
There's a lot behind sales before we ever talk about service. We're like, no, we want to create long-term sustainable business. We have to talk about what it is you actually do. And that is you coach CrossFit. So like give all the templates you want, give all the sales pipelines you want and the funnels that you want, sell all the high ticket packages you want. If you can't deliver on the floor, it doesn't matter. It's not sustainable. You will sell a lot of stuff on the front end.
Yep.
You might make a lot of money if you can keep it. It will not go on for very long.
Yeah.
And this is, we have seen this time and time again. And I want to say this very clearly, like that is Gym Launch, right? And I have no beef with Gym Launch, but the point is like they're teaching high ticket sales. But how many of those gyms, how many gyms do you know that have done that were like doing it and then either closed or are not doing it anymore? And it's because you were selling a ton on the front end and then weren't able to keep or retain or fulfill on the back end. It's like, you are eventually doomed to death as a business by executing in that manner. It is inevitable.
For sure. And I know talking to all the affiliates, this is not a bucket system, but they've fallen into one of three buckets.
Affiliates, you mean?
Yeah, from what I see. Like, it's either...
So you are the Midwest regional rep, correct?
Yes, okay. I just call myself the CEO of the Midwest.
The CEO
I don't care about a title.
You don't care about a title, but I did promote myself to a better title.
I lead with curiosity.
Yeah, there's 800 gyms, and I am the owner of that 800 gyms, if that makes sense. Like, they're my members. I care about them. I'm going to try to get to them.
It's beyond obvious you care.
I'm going to try to help them. But what I've been seeing, and you guys, I would love to hear your opinion on air. No thinking.
We have plenty of opinions.
Okay. So
most of mine are right.
Bucket number one is the affiliate owner, where more high ticket, and maybe they're not using like a Gym Launch or something, but they're offering nutrition. Maybe they're working with HSN. They're offering personal training. They're offering massages. It's probably Jason's dream affiliate to offer massages to everyone. But at the end of the day,
he's giving them though.
Yeah, they're doing a much higher ticket thing, and they need to be the highest priced thing. I found that a lot of affiliate owners want to make the type of high ticket money, but they don't want to do the high ticket work. There's nothing wrong with that.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, you're going to pay Mercedes prices for this
Honda.
For this Honda.
Yeah.
It's not going to pan out for you.
Bucket number two, and I'll do a shout out to Hybrid. I kind of fall, and like I said, you're not in one of these buckets. You're normally just rotating through them, kind of like the energy pathways. But bucket number two, you're laying.
Well done.
You're about to steal this, Andrew, just so you know.
I'll mess this up soon. What's our language? All right, language PG. We've been doing good so far. The hybrid, AF guys, utilize more of a open gym model where you can have a downsell too. Like I do that. My membership's $164. If you want to get all the benefits of the gym, which are listed, including the 24-hour access, maybe you have a garage gym, you do jiu-jitsu, then you can go 82. You can go half. I'm still going to give you one class a week just to get the sauce, just in case, or you had a bad divorce or something happened with your job and you financially can't afford it, but you've been a member for 4 years. Like, I want to make this work for you somehow. So it's more of the hybrid model. And I do have a lot of people come in.
You have an $82 option. They get one class a week, but then 24-hour access.
The 24-hour
when there's
access.
no class going on.
Yep. And my goal is to have the least classes possible for that reason, because I want to promote that.
So it's truly a hybrid model, hybrid being CrossFit and a standard gym.
Sure.
Meaning you have how many classes a day do you run?
5, and they had to 6, and they had to
7.
beat me. No, just 6.
8.
5 on Friday, and they had to beat me into that. I came back with 4, and I folded because emotionally my emotions got in the way. I should have probably stayed at 4, and then I just would have.
What time was the 4? What time were the 4 classes?
That was 6 a.m., 9:30, and then 5:30, 6:30.
I think that's especially for a box opening, maybe a noon in there. which is probably the 5th you added.
No chance.
No?
4:35, 36:30, and that's 7 a.m.
unnecessary.
Our 7
You're right.
a.m. is completely packed. 6 and 7 a.m. are completely full, 20 plus.
You got emotional. You don't need
Yeah.
3 at night.
But then the last bucket.
4.
This is the bucket that no one talks about. I think this is the original bucket of CrossFit, just said better. Have 100 people, pay yourself 10 grand, or I don't know, in California, whatever you need. In the Midwest, people are like, oh, 10 grand. And then reverse engineer everything else. And that's what you charge. And guess what? Your growth is going to be way slower, but you better have an amazing product on the floor. Just like what you said.
That's the hard part, though.
Yeah.
Because, and the reason
Am I wrong, though? Like, do you guys push people somewhere
No, I think
in that?
that's a really
I think
well-run affiliate.
I think everything works.
Everything works.
It depends on how you do it, right? So that model can absolutely work.
Yeah.
I would tell you that what you outline there is the road to that model is significantly longer. And what I see time and time again is people who are not equipped to give that service offering that model.
Or expect that result.
Right.
Yeah.
Offering that model. And I'm like, oh, well, just because it looks good on paper doesn't mean that that is going to unfold.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, I've had many arguments on the internet. Why? Because it's just fucking fun, right? But they're like, hey, you just charge $600. You just charge your members $600 a month, and I'm like,
You're not good
you're
enough.
not good enough to charge people $600 a month. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know anything about you.
But I know that no one's paying that.
But I know nobody's paying that because if I did know who you were, then it would be worth $600. But so you just threw that out there, and I'm like, you could get 2 people to do that.
Yeah.
You'll under deliver, at which point you'll have 1, and then you'll have 0, and you'll end up going back and forth. And we see this. There's like, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and
Yep.
the pendulum swings all the way around, because there's no clarity. And when you're bouncing back and forth between those, all you're doing is you're forfeiting time to get really fucking good at what you do.
Yeah.
Instead of just being, listen, I'm going to buckle down and I'm going to do this until I can do it so well that I have no problem charging this for it. You have to build your base on something, and then you can play around, right?
Yes.
So I think there's a lot of room. I don't remember who I was talking to about this. They're like, what do you think about limited memberships? I'm like, I think there's probably a natural point at which those make a ton of sense. Meaning, A, I would be just geographically located where that makes sense, but B, I would be growing at a rate at which point offering something that might be a lower tier, or not even, I don't even mean a lot lower, I just mean maybe $30 lower, you know, $164, $134, in which you have a limited membership, opens up your demographic or your available demographic,
Yeah.
at which point allows you to move a little bit faster and scale a little bit faster. But it's hard to do that when you're under delivering.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, what have we done? 40? Because we got 3 more big topics.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
on finance, this one, that you'll like this one.
Jay likes money.
I love that.
Yeah, he kind of does. So I want everyone, if you're listening, let's say if you're an avid golfer, this won't make sense. But if you're just like a kind of a
Well, you know, our audience is very avid
Mostly
golfers.
avid golfers.
Mostly
So you're about to
golfers,
lose
yeah.
everybody.
if you're like a guy or girl who just, you know, occasionally golfs, I want you to go out golfing with a person similar to your income level, right? Maybe they're bringing home the same thing. Maybe what you pay yourself from your gym. Maybe you have a job and you're thinking of opening a gym. Go find that person, right? So let's just call it $80,000. That's a great, we all agree, like that's a pretty good standard of living. And then I want you to go golfing with them. They don't have to be your friend. They can just be an acquaintance. And in the golf cart, you're like, hey, thanks for inviting me to your club, you know, your golf club. Because they have to be a member of a country club.
Right.
I want you to ask them what they pay for that country club membership. And granted, if you're in, you know, this half of the country, you're only using it for like 4 to 5 months. And I did that recently. And same income level, kids, you know, good marriage, like, and his wife and his family validate that $4,000 a year to be a member of this golf club. And I'm like, oh, so you must golf 5 times a week. He goes, nah, you know, I'm lucky. I get here once, sometimes a year, maybe twice during the week if I have a weekend off. And I'm like, so you're telling me that the members at my gym who come every day, who their best friends are here, who I'm literally laying out on the line for, we're charging over 130% less? And that crushed it. I was on a call the other day with 20 owners. We did our average revenue per member per year was $1,512. We divided it all out. There was no introductions, and this is all numbers. And I gave them that story, and you should have seen them like, man, you're not wrong. So I speak to that.
It's where you think there's value. People will spend it, and oftentimes as affiliate owners, our perception and beliefs around money dictate what we think other people's are. And you have no idea because, like you said, they're finding the value playing once, maybe twice a week. You have members that think the same of your affiliate. Like, you have so much of an impact on my life, I'd pay $4,000 a year. You don't charge it.
Right.
But it's all about creating that value. And also there's a feeling there.
Was that the average across all 20 gyms?
Yes.
The 1,500 or whatever?
$1,512.
That's low.
But that golf membership that you speak of is giving that person a feeling of something. So it's worth it to them, right? Like, I can belong to this club.
Yeah.
But I think the same can be said about CrossFit's Rife, 2Abe, or Best Hour. If you give someone that feeling, it's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
The kicker is it's hard.
It not only is it hard, but it's like, this is another one. You guys will emotionally attack this one because you see it with your clients. Do we, and this is just a yes or no.
Is this number 2?
Yeah, sure. Do you guys agree that CrossFit affiliate owners are kind people and that they care?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. Do you believe that they're empathetic human beings?
Yes.
For the most part.
Just say yes. Like, you
There's
could have
some
just said,
turds.
okay.
There's some turds out there.
I agree with Vern. So they're empathetic, they're nice, they're kind, they care. They're giving.
They're benevolent.
Okay. Who does that sound like could attack them? Predators. If all those traits I just say are what a predator looks for, hey, that person, they're empathetic. Hey, they're super kind. I can convince them. I can get a discount. I can bring my friend in. Hey, are you sure you want to charge me this month? You know what happened in my life. You follow me on Facebook. And all those things, we take it and then we just like run with it. And that sucks. And that has to change today. If you're doing that right now, get rid of all of that and just say, I want to live a decent quality of life. You're not going to drive an insane Beamer if you own an affiliate. You could invest the money you could invest the money you make. I'm sure you could, but
I think you should drive whatever you want.
Yeah, I think you're a Live With Zero guy. Did you read that book?
No.
Todd Akita was trying to get me to read that, and I'm like,
Yeah,
Todd, I won't.
No,
I will not.
Die with zero.
Die with zero.
Yeah, I refuse that. But
To some extent, I do agree with that.
Yeah, Todd knows money.
A little bit. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, like, if capitalism and taking over the world is your only thing financially, probably owning a single CrossFit affiliate is not going to do it, but doesn't mean you can't have the best quality of life.
This is where we would disagree.
Hold on. One more with you.
We're about to fight you.
No, you're not.
I told you, we are.
No,
He's going to go high, I'm going to go low.
That's it. It's going to hurt.
The American dream.
Basketball hurt your knees.
It did, yeah. The American dream. I talked to an affiliate owner in Illinois. I wish I would have remembered his actual affiliate, but he'll remain private for here. He was such a nice, and this is not Chicago. This is like Southern Illinois. He owns the building. His average revenue per member is $178. He has a family of 3. They're the sole income. He's not over leveraged, not over coached. He has great systems in place. Everyone from his community, the mayor goes to the gym, the priests, everything. He couldn't be happier. All he scheduled a call from me was to be like, I just wanted to share my story. That is the American dream. What
Correct.
I just said is the American dream.
That's my point.
That can happen. So we do agree. It's just
Not can. It should.
It should.
And the reason for that is, and I would argue that somebody who's doing that, there is a strong correlation between the pursuit of getting really good at something in order to have the confidence to then say, this is what it's worth.
Yeah.
This is why I get it gets under my skin, like, charge what you're worth. And I'm like, well, we need to have a conversation before that, because the reality is just like, you're not worth much now, and that's okay. You're not supposed to be worth much now because you haven't put in the time.
Sure.
You don't have enough hours you've not stretched yourself. You've not tried to learn more things. You've not failed enough times in order to garner the information that would take you from where you are now to the 3 notches higher, that would say, hey, nope, you come in here, hey, do you guys have this? I really want to pay this. I'm like, no, it is what it is, dude. And if you don't value what we have, that's fine. But I'm not going to lower what it is that I'm doing because you just want to pay less. Newsflash, we all want to pay less for everything.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's not weird when they ask you. But if I've not put in the time,
Yeah.
and I would even argue, like, there's probably a progression there where just like, I'm not really comfortable doing this, and you work your ass off, and then there's a tiny piece there in the middle, typically, maybe it lasts a little bit longer for CrossFitters, where like there's a bit of indignance involved with how much work you've put in and what you're not getting from it, and you have to push through that spot, because that's where you think you're worth it, and you're like, not.
That's the middle.
That's the middle. You're not quite yet there. Once you get over that, then things change. And you're like, because I think I'm good at something because I put a lot of work, but it doesn't matter what I think.
Yeah.
It matters what you think as the person consuming my product or service. Once those people start telling you you're good, now you can start to gain that momentum moving forward that will give you the confidence to be like, no, all these people are paying me full boat. I love these people. You don't get a discount just because you want one, because you don't understand or value what it is that I'm doing. Did you know that most fitness businesses lose 13% of their clients every single month? Wodify ran the numbers and found that Wodify powered businesses keep 96% of their clients. As a 14-year affiliate owner, if you can have a 4% or less churn, you will be crushing. That's why Wodify calls itself a customer retention platform, not just any CRM. They've released the fitness industry's first retention tool called Retain. Retain can predict when your clients are at risk of leaving your business and allows you to catch them before they churn. With Wodify Retain, you can increase your revenue, stop losing clients, and build a stronger community. Go to wodify.com/podcast and book a demo and give Wodify a try today. And the best part is you'll get 50% off your first 3 months by using the link below. Join the thousands of businesses that have already transformed their operations. That's not an easy process. And when I see people just, oh, you just raise your prices. And I'm like, you might. But now what you've created is a very large disparity between value and their actual value and the price point.
What I heard there is you like participation trophies.
Yeah, I want everybody to win. I want everybody to win. Yeah.
No, you're so right,
Fern
though,
is
man.
not a participation trophy.
No, I don't think any of us basketball players aren't. You had to listen to Kobe Bryant and the mindset. So I completely, I'm full board with you on that. If you're like, I'm gonna raise my prices, I'm Ron Burgundy. You're
up talk.
Yeah, you don't. Then you don't have the confidence in your own product on the floor. You don't have the confidence in your team.
And that's normal. I don't want to browbeat people over that, but I think it's just an acknowledgement. We're just not there. Keep plugging, dude.
Yeah.
Keep plugging. That's how it works.
And I'm sure there's things I know with finance, I got really, really interested in it because I in no way am I a master coach. We got an L4 right here, the miniature size one.
Master coach.
But at some point, I even need to be a student again. That's why we pick up new things, and you just to even learn how to be a student.
You're always learning.
You have to. You have to.
I wanted to do a whole podcast on this, but I'll tell you this. The ultimate arbitrage in any business in today's age, I will tell you right now, the ultimate gym arbitrage is doing a good job.
You heard it.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're like, how do I get better? I'm like, do a good job. I'll give you an example. We went down to Outer Banks for the 4th of July recently. We were there for 4 days, which means we ate out for every single meal for 4 days. Do the math on that.
You felt like trash.
At least. No, we eat fine.
Okay.
I can't eat like trash. I'm a human garbage disposal. Every single meal, 100% of them were messed up. Either it took too long, they forgot something, they gave the wrong dish, the check was messed up, which by the end of that, statistically, I was impressed. Well done, everybody. I didn't even think that was possible. And you see this in businesses everywhere right now. And I'm like, hey, how do you get people to talk about you? Do a good job. That's what you want to do, right? And it's not sexy. It's not cool. As a matter of fact, here, I'm going to give an example of this. Cody, can you grab that camera real quick? Nate, come here.
Uh-oh, Nate.
Come here. Get over here.
Get in the shot.
I want to give you guys an example. So Nate is the unsung hero of this podcast, right? What he does is he stands behind that camera for hours, 23 hours as we're doing this, dude. He does a fucking good job.
That's before editing.
Right. That's before editing. Right. Nate's been with this since day one.
Nate's employee one.
November 2019. We do the
we
dropping in.
Airbnb. I slept in
and it's just
mattress.
hey, how do I get good at this? I'm like, do a good job. Right. And this is probably the first time you've ever been on camera. Yeah. Right. He does a fucking good job, which is why he's here, which is what makes all of this happen. But he's a perfect example of dude, just show up and do a good job.
He's I want to.
So I want to give you a shout out for that, dude, because you're
a
prime example of that, dude, and I want to give you a shout out for that, man.
And at the end of the day, you guys should take good pride in knowing that you have given him a job.
Well, and the other thing is we do our best to then take good care.
We don't let him eat lunch, but
most days.
That's fine. Yeah,
once a week.
Fine. Yeah.
Well, and that's
no meals.
And I don't think affiliate owners understand what it's like I mean, what you guys did here, but they can do the same thing. They can decentralize command, as Jocko would say, and eventually have someone have a career that they can then go. I mean, there's probably nothing better once you reach.
But then you have to do a good job of leading.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So then you shift out. You can't just be like, hey, you just do a good job.
Right.
No, they're not capable of doing a job. You have to help them do what you were then doing.
Yep, absolutely.
What was your number three?
I now forgot what we went on number 2. What was number 3?
Do a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can just retire on number
Book of
3. Do a good
Charlesworth.
job.
Well, let's talk about this. You said earlier, seminar staff. How did you guys meet?
We met. All 3 of us technically met at
The New Trainer Summit?
And then I had worked one seminar with you. This story goes down in like
Lore?
seminar staff history.
Oh.
Does it?
Yeah, listen, you'll remember it.
Can't wait.
So
I don't remember, so it can't be that historical.
well, I've been made fun of so much for it. So
oh, I know exactly where
there
we're
we
going.
go.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Got
so
it.
at the end of the day, we're sitting, and I'm just being, I'm very extroverted, a little tired. So if that
this
sounds
is
that way.
this is a classic
Is that
Charlesworth
the summit?
story. Yeah, this
No,
is
this
dinner.
is New Trainer Summit at dinner. We're sitting there with Nicole Carroll, E.C. Sinkowski, Tosh, me, you, maybe a couple others, and I'm like,
There's
man,
there's like a dozen people at the
I
table.
need to make a presence, all right? Like, let me think of this fun. So I'm like, hey,
Andrew's sitting there, and he's just like, I want everybody to know that I'm here.
yeah, exactly. Which sometimes you got to do, and you got to be able to do it elegantly and non-arrogant, which is challenging.
This was neither.
So I'm like, hey guys, let's play a game where you pick, 2 or 3 people at the table to take to the end of the world with. You might have just met them, and you have to explain why. And so Tosh, Brian Shontosh, if you don't know, you just gotta Google him. But
He's been on
He's
the
been
podcast.
on the show.
Oh, okay,
Nicole
there we
Carroll
go.
was on, yeah.
Yeah, so I would work with Fern, and I knew Fern was in the Navy. Both of us were new trainers on staff, and I'm like, Fern, I know you were in the military. I'm like, Tosh, because he was the coolest, lowest ego, funniest guy. We were doing drills earlier. I'm like, Tosh, have you ever been in like I don't know, like a bar fight or anything? Didn't even say military.
He's exit from
And Tosh goes, no, I've never won a bar fight.
Tosh, as he's doing, he's like, I'm not going to take Tosh. I don't know anything about Tosh. I don't know you'd be able to hold yourself in a fight. And Tosh has like the Tosh face on. He's like, huh? And like everybody at the table just kind of like,
You didn't know who Tosh was?
no idea.
It's not. Tosh is not the type of guy that
He's not gonna
walks
tell
into
you
a
that.
room and says, hey, I've rode across the world.
But it was just funny that like I'm like, you're the only guy that doesn't know
Yeah.
what's going on here.
Yeah, that was great.
And it was just like,
But you took Fern?
yeah, I
took
took
me.
Fern
yeah,
What was your reasoning?
because he was in the Navy.
yeah. And I was
So who
just
were
like,
the other 2 people you took?
I can't even remember. At this point, it's a blackout.
Yeah, it was that.
But you remember taking Fern
Yeah.
Yes.
and not taking Tosh.
Yeah.
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 Is
Big
that
mistake.
the only time Fern
Big
was
mistake.
ever drafted
Big
above
mistake.
Tosh?
We died at the end of the world. The other thing that was funny was like Tosh. Nicole was mad Tosh didn't take her, and then his response is like, "Oh, I would have just killed you."
Right. Because he said it's end of the world.
He's like,
stuff.
it's end of the world. He's like, you're probably gonna die. I don't want you to die at the hands of like the zombies
Like the-
or whatever.
yeah, the monster.
He's like, so I would just kill you because I would just kill you myself.
I forgot about that.
I was like, oh, okay. Which changes everything.
Yeah.
But yes, that was a full foot in mouth scenario for Andrew Charlesworth.
When did we meet?
We actually met at when I drove
I
across
remember,
the country to your gym, and you were still. I mean, you look better now. You look younger now than you did then. You had
It's that
not
stupid hair you have.
you had not weighed and measured food well yet. You were still like a funny little dude.
Macro Man wasn't a thing yet?
No, Macro Man was not a thing. And
I had the long ponytail.
Long ponytail. We did the CrossFit Strongman.
Yeah.
And I drove across the country with Jen with
Not
2
quite
strongmen.
across the country. Ohio to...
Michigan to
Michigan,
New
yeah.
York is across the country through Canada. Yeah, that was.
You went through Canada?
Yeah, that's how you get there.
You went up
over,
top
not
and
over?
over?
No, you just went through Michigan's weird. You go through Canada, then you come back in right at I think Albany or
Probably like Niagara Falls or something.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really understand the United States.
I don't either.
So that's where we met. What'd you think?
Of you?
Yeah.
That you were strange. I mean, if
Why did you think I was strange?
Nothing has changed.
I can't because I remember I'm like, why is the smallest little dude at a strongman event? Like this was only supposed to be for like big, bulky, sweaty guys who want to do CrossFit and lift stones. That was such a subset of a subset in 2012.
Yeah, that's where I was at the forefront.
Yeah, you were.
We took Rob Orlando's strongman.
Mm-hmm.
We built all the
OG.
stones. We had everything there. And then
Do you remember when
it
everybody
came-
was making stones?
Yeah.
Oh, we made all the
I made
stones.
a ton of stones, and then you know what we did with them?
Threw
We
'em out.
eventually threw them away.
Yeah.
They're just garden gnomes.
Eventually they break, right? Because people will drop them on
Yeah.
concrete. And then we've now done a ton together over the years. That's what's really cool about this. Like, whether it's with us or with you or other people on staff, like those relationships.
Yeah.
Many of staff and people I've met through CrossFit are my longest, tenured friends at this point.
And it's crazy though because with you guys, I don't Your branding is so amazing. I hate the word branding because it's just authenticity, right? It's your brand is who you are. I mean, for the most part.
We care too much.
Yeah.
That's our biggest weakness.
It is, but I fundamentally don't. That was the last thing I think I was going to say. I don't know if that means 10 minutes, but I'd like to disagree.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'd like to disagree with just care is going to do everything for you.
Well, we don't think that.
I didn't
for the
say
record.
you did, and I'm not saying who said it.
We have actually said the opposite.
Okay.
It is not enough at all.
It is not enough because everyone if you take your level 1 and you want to open a gym, I guarantee you care. Like, I personally, if I had a side business and more time, which I don't, I would want to educate affiliate owners on how to make their money make more money, because the last thing they only know to open a gym. Then they're like, well, I'll open another gym. I'm like, do you really want to do that, or do you just want to have, I hate the word passive income or something like that, like, do you want to just have more investments?
It's not going to be passive, number
We've
one.
talked.
The only thing passive is, I hate to say it, but Tadakito's right, dividend paying stocks. I mean, at the end of the day, but there'll
be some labor involved, even if you do, like, even me, like, mine's you could potentially call it passive, but like, it's very loosely passive. I still have some input.
Yeah.
And you're still at the gym. I mean, you go there to
saying your
work for the
gym.
company.
Correct.
Your affiliates.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not,
you're never fully removed. Absolutely not.
I probably could be. I just don't want to be.
Yeah. I liked your point earlier. Sorry. And I sucked at things too. Like, I did real estate really wrong. I'm from Flint, Michigan, so I know the area pretty well. I grew up playing basketball there. I knew which areas are like really bad and which weren't. And I was like, I should buy a bunch of houses for $5 to $10 grand. That sounds like a great idea. I'm the least handy guy in the world. Let's just rent these out to people. And before I knew it, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Oh, I have to pay taxes. Yeah, I'll do that later. Then COVID hit, and I had a tenant who didn't pay rent for 16 months, and the water was still in my name, and it was illegal to evict. At the end of the day, that house cost me money almost to sell. So I remember thinking, I'm really, really bad at this, but I'm embarrassed. So
that's a feeling that a lot of affiliate owners have.
Exactly. That's why I agree with you so much.
I know, because I've had it.
And I was like, babe, I can either take all of this and wait, put it into Bitcoin when I want to, or something else like that. And I'm like, but if you want to take a course with me on Airbnb stuff and where to go, what to do, we don't know anything. Let's take it together.
He also would like to sell you on the timeshare that he's doing.
Exactly.
Flint, Michigan.
And I was like,
keep rolling, Kevin. Keep rolling.
I will get out of this, though. I will never, ever, ever do it again because I suck at it. And I gave it to her, and it was so much better.
And now she's crushing it.
She's crushing it. And it's
got
like
a rental property in
that's the same thing, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Put a bow on that for us. Where are we going with that?
Yeah, no, I just agreed with you when it came to the affiliate ownership. Like, I don't know.
But let's just cover the care thing, because you're right.
Yeah,
that's
the
not
care
enough.
thing.
But for many people, that's where you have to start.
Yeah.
For sure. I think it's cost of entry, just like hard work.
Yeah.
Care and hard work are cost of entry if you want to do this work. After that, you need to get good. Mm-hmm. Right?
That's what owners ask for.
I care a lot. I would argue this. I'm like, you actually don't care if you are not continuing to get better. If you don't feel like you constantly have to get better, then I'm going to argue, then you don't care.
I agree.
You just like saying I care because it feels good.
It feels good.
Right. Just caring about your members is not... Caring about your members
if you
is
cared,
developing
you would
yourself.
fix your membership so you could run a better box. If you cared, you'd give your coach the uncomfortable conversations and give them emails so they would run better classes. If you cared, you'd clean the bathroom. If you cared, you'd maintain your equipment a little better. If you cared, you'd put branding on the walls. If you cared, you'd run a better social media program. If you cared, you'd communicate better.
If you cared, you'd pay yourself. Because your members don't want to see you miserable. Because then you show up miserable, you show up tired, you show up resentful.
Better everyone.
And being a martyr is not what your members want.
No, being a martyr is not cool. Who made that cool? We did. Trick question.
Joan of Arc.
A rhetorical question, Farley. We made that cool. That was
Nate, who made being a martyr cool?
We did. We did. No.
CrossFit affiliate owners.
CrossFit affiliate owners made being a martyr cool. He knows it. That's why he did that.
Nate
he saw it on camera.
Say it was
hey,
Jesus.
let's not pay ourselves. Hey, you better give your shirt away. If you're this, like, trust me, I get it.
We talked to Nicole about this yesterday. I think there was a moment in our history where that something that was taught, like where Greg was referencing chase excellence, not money, where that was misinterpreted.
Sure.
And then they're like, oh, cool, we'll just do it not for the money. And I'm like, then it doesn't work.
No. doesn't work at all.
Right? Like, make more money. And I tell everybody, then do whatever you want with it. Give it away. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Like, but what you can do is you can give more people more opportunity and more results when you do it really, really well.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing it really well at 2A Bor. if you want more financial advice from Andrew Charlesworth,
We're not-
follow him. Your Threads.
We're not financially. Follow me on Threads if you
Your
want.
Threads is all about it.
Yeah.
But no, I talk to you
Go to
often.
makemoremoney.com.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love that you are passionate about this stuff. You do care, but you have it, as we've discussed, sprinkled in is, okay, well, we need to make this a successful business. Both, whether it's Airbnb, whether it's the box, whether it's, you've had an ATM business, you've done plenty of things. You understand that, in order for this thing to work, we need to be financially lucrative.
We need to win.
We need to win.
Correct.
Affiliate owners need to win
Hot seat question. So you talk to affiliate owners all the time.
daily.
What do you think would be one of the number one things if most people would focus on, they would improve their business and their clients' experience?
Condensed down because it's not long. I think that they offer too many classes for the bandwidth that they currently have.
It's fair.
And I think they have a false sense of reality. If I just open a class, that means more I'll get more members.
Or I'll shift to the 5 p.m.ers to the 3 p.m.
And I don't know how to say that. I just think get your cost per, I did the math equation, cost per revenue per member per class, and figure that out, and then decide if it's financially lucrative to open a new class.
Yeah.
So I know that was long-winded, but you know what I'm talking about. Don't
Yeah.
just open a shit ton of classes and expect that's the fastest way to burn out.
And for the record,
To have a bad product too, because you're tired now, you're doing more. It's
Not going to be great.
yeah.
Affiliate U has a full spreadsheet on that. Marcus created it, all about when is the right time to
And,
add
yeah,
a new
what do you
class.
need per class as far as, like, affording it?
Like you said, it's not just, well, this one's busy, so we'll add this one. That's not how it works.
That's
There's a
such
lot
your
of other
secret sauce,
factors.
too.
Yeah, Marcus?
All of you, I love that people, I think we didn't finish that thought. People come to you to get better, and that is your number one. You don't move your needle for anyone on that. But what they don't realize is you guys are sharks as well. You actually know how to put that sickness, or the, Marcus showed it to me. It's not like I'm giving it away because I barely even know it, but you enter all your stuff and it spits out an equation for you of
the
where,
dashboard?
Yeah, dude. And all these things about finance, and I'm like, so that's why it works, because they're 50-50. Maybe the 50 marketing you see is just, hey, get better at teaching, get better at correcting, but they are also going to get you better financially. And
At everything.
And I respect that.
I do think there's probably a subset of people who are kind of shopping around and think they're like, they're just really into the coaching service. And I'm like, if I popped the hood on this bad boy and showed you everything that you learn, your brain would explode.
It's like our presentation yesterday. You can only focus on the coaching when your systems and operations allow you to have the time to do that.
Well, it goes back to the 10 general skills, right? Like, hey, you might need to focus a little bit on your money here for 90 days. Get that sorted out, and then you go back to your service, or maybe you go back to your operations, or maybe you go back to your team, or
Fix
whatever
everything, you'll have a new weakness.
Yeah, you go back through there and be like, these are all now 7s. That's a 4. Go back, make that a 7, and then move them all to 10. But it's a never-ending process. As you get better, you create your own new issues, and that's why, if you care, you should be constantly trying to break it. I'm going to break it. How am I going to break it? I'm going to break it to the point where we have so much demand that I have to reconfigure fulfillment, right?
Yep.
That's the name of the game. And at some point you're like, we're good. But until you're there, you keep going. You keep trying to break it. You keep trying to make it better. And you keep being unreasonable about the pursuit of creating the world's best affiliate. And that's what you should be chasing. If you're not doing that, shut it down, have somebody else do it, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
My man, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Why?
Because we talk every day.
Yeah.
Every
Talk
day?
to you.
That's a
We
lot.
talk.
That's a lot.
We're like get in the car.
I
Let
keep
me
him
hop on a
sane.
call.
No, let's not call it spade. This guy calls me how can I not lose my mind right now when it comes to being a dad?
Is that why he calls
Yeah.
me crying all the time?
Yeah.
No, I call Andrew. I'm like, does this? This was as Bodie was getting ready to come out.
Oh.
He'd be like, you have no idea what's about to happen.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Marcus and I were just in the back laughing.
Yeah, but this guy is a friend.
Yeah.
Was giving me advice. We bounce ideas off each other all the time. Love you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Midwest Regional Manager.
Yeah.
If you guys have things that you'd like to see or feedback that you would like to push up, call this guy. He's happy to hop on a phone call with you. He's your conduit to the machine. So utilize him. And if you don't complain about it, because that's literally what he's here for.
CEO
Great
of the
sell-off.
Midwest.
Great
CEO of the
sell-off.
Midwest.
Yep.
And a shout out to the real hero, his wife, Jen.
All right. See you guys next time. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call.
If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.